And welcome to another great episode of Framing New Heights. My name is Michael Hicks, the host with the most. Before we get started today, some words from our sponsor. Unlock your true full potential with Live to Thrive Life Coaching. Are you ready to transform your life just one step at a time? Well, at Live to Thrive, I believe in the power of small, consistent improvements. And this unique framework, which I spent many years on, focuses on allowing you to become 1% better each day in mind, body, and soul. What exactly do I offer? Great question, Michael Hicks. So, first of all, it's the mind. I help you develop a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Our subconscious has so much to do with what we do. What we say is who we become internally and externally. So I help you enhance your mental clarity and conquer challenges with specific confidence and build that self-esteem you've been longing for. Also, body. I have 3 published ebooks that I get sent to your email, as well as workouts sent to your email as well, or text messages, whichever you prefer. And then that allows you to embrace your healthy lifestyle. So being a certified personal trainer for many, many years, holding my CSCS, this will help you allow you to boost your energy levels and achieve your specific fitness goals. And with it being the New Year's resolutions around maybe 3 weeks ago, how are those going for you? Have you fallen off the track? Next piece, soul. Discover your true purpose. Cultivate inner peace and live a fulfilling, balanced life. Many of us struggle and we go through this endless monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over. And then we have this empty pit in our stomach. I help you uncover that. I help you know and find that, because as a dedicated life coach with 25 years of experience, I'll guide you on your journey to personal excellence, helping you overcome obstacles and reaching for those new heights. Together, you and me will create a customized plan tailored to your unique needs and aspirations. That's where the journey call happens. So if you really are interested in providing the best purposeful life you've ever wanted, now's the time to get in. Right now, we can hit that journey call. You can do a free consultation by either going to my website, which is www.livetothrive.com, or my socials, which will be located in the description as well. My next sponsor is CBD oil. And guess what? It is Amish tested. If you've been struggling with sleep or you got pain relief, you're struggling with sleepless nights or maybe constant aches and pains, this premium CBD oil is tested and trusted by the Amish community. And it's the solution for natural relief and restful nights. And this special offer, which is only for Framing New Heights listeners, if you go to the checkout, if you enter in promo code New Heights, all capitalized, you get 50% off at checkout. Why choose CBD oil? I'll tell you, it's Amish tested. So it's proven quality and effectiveness. It's going to allow you for better sleep and say goodbye to those restless nights and hello to peaceful slumber, right? Also, pain relief. How many have those aches and pains before you go to bed? Well, guess what? It naturally and effectively gets rid of that. So don't miss out. Go to envitamins.com and use promo code New Heights, all cap locks, to check out and claim your 50% discount offer. So join the Framing New Heights community and start living a pain-free and well-rested life. And I cannot tell you enough, y'all, sleeping is absolutely critical for you. I'm super excited to talk about our podcast today. And I hope all of you are having a tremendous 2025. I hope your goals are getting in line with what you've been wanting. I hope you're not bringing any 2024 of that baggage into your life, because today's the day to actually listen. This podcast is really going to resonate with most of you, because the podcast title for today is how you do anything is how you do everything. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. How you do anything is how you do everything. So first and foremost, I want you to understand the concept. All right. And what I do, and I talked about this earlier with my Live to Thrive plug, my life coaching and mindset coaching plug and relationship piece, is when we break down the entire phrase and then we implement small actions, right? To really get defined with it, get clear, get focused. And when you do that and you break it down into small actionable steps, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. What it does, it'll help you with your overall mindset. You'll then also uncover positive habit stacking, and then building quality values that you institute in your life. And so many of us, as we continue down this stream, is that we constantly have these goals, but then what we do is we lie to ourselves. We continue to lie and never anything gets accomplished. It's because you're just okay with the monotony, but yet you want to complain about it. So when you can really dig deep and uncover those small actionable steps, you'll discover something like a ripple effect. All right. And this ripple effect will in a way will approach seemingly insignificant tasks. However, they then become monumental to shaping larger outcomes in your life. Does that make sense? Like concentrate on the small detail, finite things. And then you can uncover what you truly want, that big concept, right? So taking a small piece or taking a large piece, breaking it down into small actionable steps is absolutely critical for what you do with everything, right? Like how do you clean the house? Or do you even clean the house? How do you run a family? How do you work out? How, like, all of these things really goes back to my title today of understanding the concept of how do you do anything. How you do anything is how you do everything. The second piece is the mindset connection. And this is so critical, y'all. I can uncover someone within the first 5 minutes on what their mindset is. Our subconscious has so much power that a lot of us don't even understand. We use words that really block our subconscious from allowing us to grow. And when you can understand, and I've been doing this now for a considerable amount of time, and when you have these constant patterns of thought influences, and these behaviors then result into something negative, you have to figure out what is it? Why is it? Why am I constantly coming to this point? You know, with a few of my clients, they constantly have this overwhelming feeling that they get from maybe a relationship or something that externally happened. But when we fixate on these negative things, more negativity comes in. So I want to go to this point here. So our influence has a lot to do, like our surroundings, our environment, who we talk to, who we hang out with. I always like to say you're a product of the 5 individuals that you hang out with. Like you're the average of them. So take your 5 people that you hang out with, you're the average of those 5 people. You know, I want to highlight how lack of attention to detail in any of those areas often reflects deeper issues in other areas. Okay. So for example, let's just take procrastination, right? If you procrastinate with work, you know, that's going to show up in other areas of your life. Maybe you're really struggling now. It's week 3, week 4. This is generally where all of those fitness people that hit all those New Year's resolutions, they just drop and fail because they lack the self-discipline. They had the momentum. They're like, hey, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do all this stuff. But then they lack the self-motivation and the self, you guys, motivation runs out. It's a fleeting thing. And if you don't have anything else to fall back on, you're going to constantly redo the same. You're going to fall back onto these old habits. And then that never allows you to change anything. And now, in this next piece, here's the thing. Small habits truly matter. Here's what I mean. Every item in your house should have a home, right? Whether that's the remote control, whether that's silverware, whether that's mail, whether that's goggles that you use to go to the water park or to the pool, all of those things should have a home. If they don't have a home, your life is in clutter, chaos. It's in clutter mode. So you need to find a home, whatever it is. Maybe it's a laptop, maybe it's your wallet, maybe it's those shakers, maybe it's your shaker that you have from the gym. Where does it go? Like every piece that you have in your house should have a home. And when we uncover those small habits, and this is why I'm saying small habits matter, is they create intentional actions that creates momentum and discipline in bigger areas of your life. That's why the original title, the topic today is exactly what I talked about, is how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's why I even talked about having a home for every little thing, because it creates momentum. And when you get more momentum, it creates more discipline in bigger areas of your life. So show up fully in all areas of your life. If you're a father and you come home and you're exhausted from your job, why? I can tell you why. Is you're feeding your body junk, you're not getting enough sleep, you're staying up late, and then you spend all this energy and going to a job that you absolutely hate, and then you come home and you got to be a father. But you check out and you go in front of the TV and you veg out. Those things have huge impact in your life. Now, I'm not saying don't relax, don't chill. I get it. I just came back from a vacation and got getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning with very little sleep. Man, all that stuff can wait. I didn't even unpack. I did a little bit, took some stuff out. It was in that chaos, but I just had some time to relax, took a long nap. And that is really important, to listen to your body. You know, but I want to go back to what I was saying. Minor tasks builds integrity. And once you can continually build that momentum of integrity, you get more confidence in certain areas of your life. And then that can excel in your career and build personal excellence. I've had several of my clients, from the programming that I teach them, build this resiliency and then lead to personal excellence, which then leads to a better, more fulfilling career. So small habits matter. How you take your shoes. Do your shoes have a place? Do your slippers have a place? After you do dishes, do they have a place? All of those things. That really, truly matters. My fourth statement that I want to talk about here is self-awareness is like a key driver, right? I talk about, it's almost emotional intelligence as well. And I have a big module on this in my framework when I work with my clients. Is I want you to, number one, reflect on areas where you have really cut corners or really kind of settled for mediocrity, right? One thing that I'm gonna attempt to implement in February is I'm gonna get a box, and I'm gonna take that box, and each week I'm gonna put something in it that I don't wear or use, and I'm just gonna give it to Goodwill or just get rid of it, right? Because I feel that I have all of these clothes, but I don't wear them continuously. And here's another interesting perspective. You don't need 100 mugs. You don't. Yeah, maybe once a year you've got people coming over, like 16 people that come over for a tea party, whatever it may be. But when we can declutter all of those mugs and really live simplistically, we are more aware of our surroundings, which is the key driver, which I just talked about. And I want to say this: if there's anything in your household that's under $20 and you don't use it regularly, get rid of it. If it doesn't have a home, get rid of it. Get rid of it. But Michael, I got all these mugs from every place that I went and I love them, blah, blah, blah. The key here is cut corners and stop settling for mediocrity. All right. And when you can develop daily habits with the person that you truly want to become, you will be more aware, right? So one of the biggest things that I used to have, I used to have a major anger issue, like major. Like everybody that knows me now, they're like, "No way." But yes, and I did some work with my life coach and I did some work with my therapist, but it was uncovering all of the trauma that I had as a child. Now I'm not asking to be I'm not a victim here by any means, but I was just brought up where if I didn't do something right, I was beaten. It was a hardcore spanking. And I think that built anger inside of me. And that anger then came out if we were wrestling and maybe there's play fighting and a kid did something to me, man, I was pummeling them. Like I was at it. So my point to all of this is what areas are you struggling with? Because that's the key to building self awareness, right? So maybe it's, man, my fitness is just not power. I eat like crap, or, my relationship is struggling. Are you identifying it with self awareness? Because if you can, that takes away the mediocrity part, right? And when we take away the mediocrity part, we can really align to who we truly want to become. So stop being the person that was old, like the old 2024, become the person that is now and present and better and fulfilling and excited. And when you wake up in the morning, how excited are you about life? Is it a moment where you're like, oh, I got to do this again? Or are you just like, man, let's go? Every opportunity, every day that I get to bless other people on this world and provide value, and also being a father and a significant other, I am truly blessed. And when you can say, I like, for example, this morning, someone would say, good morning. I always do my very best. And I know you hear this all the time, but I do my very best to just say, good morning, good morning, good morning. Someone will say, hey, how are you? And I always say this, I say, I'm blessed and highly favored. And this gentleman today was like, wow, that's impactful. That's powerful. But I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Every single day I get an opportunity to create change and create myself to be 1% better. My Live to Thrive program is me. And I have built the integrity for the program. I have built the discipline. I build the confidence, thus leading into personal excellence. And I want to give that to you. I want to share those strategies and that can build those daily habits for you for the person that you want to become. This next piece that I want to talk about, y'all, is practical applications, right? Like how important are they into your daily life? Let's just talk about work. Do you bring your best self to work every day? Statistics will show that most people on Thursdays and Fridays kind of slack. It's just what it's proven. I know Europe has this thing of working 4-day work weeks. That's never going to happen in the United States. Just going to let you all know. It's never, ever going to happen. But what I want to say here is how are you bringing your best self into your relationships with your significant other, with your kids, with your job, with your health? Or are you just like, I'm okay? Because when we can truly be our best self in every task, as I stated earlier, things kind of fall in play. It's how you do anything is how you do everything. And when you can truly do that and build those practical applications in place, and if you don't know how to do that, and most don't, and here's the thing, you can pay the knowledge tax. The knowledge tax allows you to pay for a coach to show you to get to that gap, right? You have the gap. You can do it on your own if you use applied knowledge, and that's the key, applied knowledge over the course of time. However, if you don't, it just takes you longer. And knowledge tax is what you pay for a coach to narrow that gap and really help you break the mundane daily struggle, right? And relationships. How are you present and intentional? And how are you communicating with your significant other? Have you asked that? And do you communicate? Health. Are you honoring your body by constantly choosing small steps towards wellness? I'll give you an example. When I was just in Puerto Rico, we did some major kayaking. And I'm going to show this to the screen. I don't know if everybody can see that, but those are major blisters on my hand. And I was like, well, how am I going to work out? I have the knowledge with having my certification as a personal trainer, my CSCS, which is one of the highest degrees that you can have in personal fitness. I just know how to maneuver around that. So it didn't stop my small steps towards wellness and getting now my body into summer shape as we get into February. February is a big month for transitional weight change. I do carry a little bit more weight during the winter because, let's be honest, we're always imperfect and I like to enjoy foods. So work, relationships, health, these are practical applications. Ask yourself today, are you bringing your best to all of those? Are you? If you're not, that's your answer. And if you don't know the how do I get past this? Michael, I got all these limitations. I don't know what to do. Reach out. Reach out. And here's the other thing too. How's your practical application with your relationship with your creator? For me, it's Jesus Christ. How is that relationship with him? One of the biggest struggles that I've had is tithing, right? And I overheard my pastor talking, and he's like, ask what the Holy Spirit have. Like, I'm getting a little religious, I guess, with you guys, but I began tithing this past week. It's not much, but I'm giving money back to the church. That's important. It talks about that. And that's my faith. That's what I believe. That's one area that I always struggle with. But I asked, like, what do I need to do? So I set it up. I set it up auto payment. So there's no issues. So practical applications, again, work, relationships, health, and then even your relationship with your creator, I think is absolutely vital. Ask yourself about that. Are you showing up best? If you say you're a Christian, are you acting like it? Well, that means reading the Bible every day. That means being kind to people that persecute you. And I know that's hard. I want to talk a little bit about 3 areas that are really monumental for, again, the title of the podcast is How You Do Anything is How You Do Everything. And that's with your mindset. Let's start out with that. If you have a cultivated belief that every action towards you creates a bigger picture, you are prospering. I'm going to tell you that you are prospering right now. And that's the thing. You should not allow what other people do to dictate how you believe. Does that make sense? Because if you do, your mindset is a fixed mindset. It's polluted. And you don't know how to change that. That's a hard one for most people. I've worked with athletes. I work with CEOs. I work with teachers. I've worked with just moms and dads that really struggle with cultivating a belief that every action counts towards the bigger picture. What you do today is going to affect what you do in 5 years. The next piece, body. And I briefly talked about this. Are you showing respect for your health by bringing intentionality to your physical routines? If you're too tired, walk. Why are you too tired? First of all, stop identifying with I am statements. I am this, I am that. Fill it with positivity, positive affirmations. I am strong. I'm a quality father. I walk in the steps of my creator, Jesus Christ. Those are my I am statements that I fill up with. Anything you associate and say I am to, that's who you become. Purpose. Align your daily efforts with your long-term goals so that you can live out a meaningful and set direction. Like it's like rocket shooting out. That's where you should be going, up, up. Yes, we do have some plateaus once in a while, but what are you doing to get out of that plateau? And the biggest thing to get out of that plateau is this term. It's called the power of consistency. And when you have the power of consistency, it's compounding these small efforts, these effects that are small, but they are intentional. And then when they're repeated over and over and over time, they then build momentum. And then action takes place, which builds discipline. Because motivation is the first thing that gets you going. The power of consistency is monumental. Small things. I'll give you an example. When I was a long-term basketball coach at the high school level, then I got to college, then I got the pros. One of the biggest things is anytime we walked into the gym and when we were the guest team or traveling or whatever it might be, we always left the areas cleaner than what we came into. Biggest thing. Because those small things even might be minimal, but it also then resonated with other people of like, oh, that's this school or that's that pro team or whatever. The biggest thing is those small actions, those small things, the grocery carts, put them back. Small things, garbage, pick it up. I know those small things build great monumental things. It's the power of consistency. And when we can do all of that and learn how to really audit our habits, like I remember always driving to down this road where I used to live, and I guess I had a vision of this. I had a vision of this, like somebody goes to a fast food place, right? And they stop in the middle of the road. This is a road where there's not much traffic, and they just take their garbage and they set it outside. Those are auditing your habits. What are some call to action steps that you all can take today that can really audit some of your habits? Maybe I don't like to use the good versus bad, but let's just say some of those habits that are really detouring your growth on where you want to be in life, because they really can show up in other areas of your life. They can. They monumentally can. If you can give 100% effort in even the small, minuscule task today, how do you think that could impact your life tomorrow? Maybe it's simply writing a letter or a note. I do this regularly. I write a note to my daughter. And I also have a booklet that I journal for her that I'm going to give to her on her 18th birthday when I don't see her for 6 days. I journal and I write in there about how much I love her, how much I appreciate her. And I feel like all of those small little tasks that I've done in that journal, and over time when she becomes 18 and even to the point where God says, Michael, you got to come home, she'll have that always with her. And that's something that no one can ever take away. And that impact is monumental for my only daughter that I have in my life. So, what can you do that's a small task today that could have a huge impact on maybe someone else's life or maybe your life as well? And only you can answer that question. And maybe you need to focus on one area where you can really raise your standards. Maybe do a self audit of you. You made these New Year's resolution goals. Make a self audit. What are areas that you could really raise your standards and maybe commit to a constant action? Where is it? What is it? Only you can answer that question. And with that, when you can do that and develop that consistent action, things change. They monumentally do. So high achievers that are listening, if you truly resonate, if this is a small, quick one today, but if this podcast really resonated with you, please go and like it and share it and comment. I would really appreciate that. And I hope that you are inspired today to take ownership of your habits and those behaviors, right? And I talked about a self-audit. Because when you can know those little things, and those little things truly build the foundation for bigger success. The next thing was that I've been doing in my New Year's resolutions is one was a tithing, right? That was a big New Year's resolution goal for me. It was a little late to get to the start, but I did it. But the second one was I've never read the Bible cover to cover. Like I never did that. Well, I have the app, the Bible app, and it has one day, one day. Now, was I on vacation? I probably missed 2 or 3 days, but I just make it up then. I make it up. I'll do maybe two. So something that you can do to create monumental change will create a lasting foundation for you. Therefore, will create the success that you've been longing for. So do yourself a favor. Stop complaining about your current environment and start making the change that you want. And if you don't know how to make that change, if it's not me, hire a life coach that can create that change for you, that everlasting change, that momentum change. It gets you into back to the driver's seat, sees things in vibrant, beautiful colors instead of black and white. You have that control. You can rewrite your book. You can rewrite your story. You're never too old, ever. Until next time, my name is Michael Hicks, host with the most. Just kidding. As always, 1% better in mind, body, and soul. Stay flexed.